Oftentimes, we relate the term womb space to only pregnant women. This is how less informed we are about the magic that lies within our female body. Your womb space is literally the powerhouse of your female body, not just when you are pregnant, but on a day to day basis. Sadly, for most of us, our womb space has been dense, cold, and rigid. In this video, I am going to share with you why we all women need womb healing and why we are disconnected from this magical spot in our female body. What is it costing us, and how our life can change beautifully when we begin to connect with our womb space on a regular basis. My name is Jonita D'Souza and I am the creatress of Exploring Femininity, which is a place for modern day women just like you and me to connect with our ancient feminine wisdom so that we can create a life that is nurturing, energizing, fulfilling, and pleasurable. To begin with, what is the womb space? Our womb space is located in the area below our navel, literally 3 inches, and that is pretty much the center of your female body and also the center of your powerful female feminine energy. And you don't have to have a physical womb to feel the energetics of a womb space. You still feel the energies of the womb space even if your physical womb has been surgically removed. This energetic center of your female body is situated by our Sacral Chakra, and this is the place from where you resource your feminine wisdom, your creativity, your desire, your passion, your sensuality, your sexuality, your pleasure, your desire to birth and to create a new world, a new you, a new life. In Sanskrit, sacral chakra is called Swadhisthana, where Swa means self and Adhisthana means established. So when you translate Swadhisthana in English, it means as the center where your being is established. In yogic traditions, your womb space is considered to be your second heart, and your womb space is extremely, highly intuitive should you choose to listen to. Think about the phrase gut feeling, which we have been using all the time without really knowing its origin. Your gut is located around the womb space and has millions of nerves that responds to your physical environment first and then sends the signal to the brain. So what really happened that we women are not able to harness the power of our womb space on a regular basis and instead require healing? My one-word answer to this is patriarchy. The Western medicine has been portraying our stomach, our womb space as a trouble spot for women. So many of us suffer from PMS and a lot of gut related problems. In fact, the 2 biggest surgeries done on women are the C-section and I find it really hard to pronounce this, hysterectomies. You get it. The media and advertising industry has also done its part in instilling a belief in us that our stomachs have to look in a certain way in order for us to be attractive and successful. Think about all those fitness companies and products emphasizing on perfect looking abs for women. Now, there is nothing wrong in wanting to have perfect looking abs or good looking stomach. Why not? Yes. But like most of the things in this patriarchal society, we are meeting the potential of this part of our female body only on the surface level. All we are concerned about is how it looks on the outside, without going deeper, digging deeper, discovering how we can create a holistic relationship with our stomach, with our womb space. I've seen so many women worrying about having a perfect looking ab, but care less about honing their gifts of creativity, passion, desire. And there is no one to blame. This is the patriarchal conditioning that we have been habituated with, and hence we all women require womb healing. According to Ayurveda, a disease or illness can enter a woman's body only on two occasions. One, when she is not in sync with the cycles of the moon, and secondly, when her life force energy is depleted. And your womb, my dear sister, is the source of your life force energy. So how does our life force energy get depleted? Interestingly, our womb space is also a storehouse of emotions, energies, and memories. We unconsciously store our unresolved emotions into our womb space. So, emotions from our past experiences like fear, anger, resentment, betrayal, loneliness, rejection, abandonment, stress, or even traumatic sexual experiences are all unconsciously stored in our womb space. And it has been also proven that your DNA already was formed in your mother's womb when she herself was in her mother's, that is your grandmother's womb. So think about this. Centuries of repression and abuse of the feminine principles that our ancestors and our grandmothers have experienced have been passed on to us from womb to womb to womb. And this usually limits us from fully expressing ourselves in our world. Think about it. Sometimes you have certain emotions which makes you wonder that, wow, this emotion is quite strange to me. It might not even be your own. Now, in some women, these unresolved stored emotions in our womb space can result into physical illnesses like cysts, fibroids, PMS, endometriosis, PCOS, and other vaginal related illnesses. All these illnesses are a result of prolonged suppression of our unresolved emotions that finally physically manifests into a disease or an illness. And once again, what the Western medicine teaches us is to pop a pill and treat these symptoms on a physical level without getting into the roots of the problem. And no wonder these symptoms keep coming back to us every now and then. Our disconnection from our womb space goes beyond physical illnesses. You may feel a lack of self-esteem or self-worth or self-trust and may not really know how to truly take care of yourself. You may attract unhealthy and even abusive relationships all over again and again. You may feel emotional overreactions like pessimism or depression. You may feel excessively attached to products more than people. You may also experience excessive neediness in your relationships, thinking nobody really truly loves you. This was my story. You may experience codependency and go to the extent of manipulating your relationships in order to receive love and attention. You may also experience painful periods and urinary or bladder infections. Some women also feel a fear of happiness or pleasure and lack of authenticity and creative expression. In some women, the disconnection from womb space could look like she becoming a workaholic, she becoming a very dominant and controlling person. and she becoming addicted to all kind of activities that she can do in order to substitute love and trust and vulnerability. So you see, womb healing is for every single woman on this planet, irrespective of if you are still bleeding or going through menopause, or if you have your womb removed. Whether you have given birth or not, desired children or not, or if you are feeling emotionally suppressed or creatively and sexually blocked, or are seeking deeper ancestral healing, womb healing is for you, my dear sister. Beginning my womb healing journey 7 years ago has been life-changing for me. I was able to connect with my deeper feminine wisdom, unlock my creative spirits and pleasure, experience easy menstrual cycle, eliminate my chronic skin disease of eczema, embody my feminine energy and magnetism, and anchor a deeper sense of safety, trust, and sacredness in my body. I have facilitated womb healing work for several hundreds of women as part of my online offerings and in-person sacred feminine retreats, and they were able to minimize the stress and toxicity of their relationships. They were able to identify their emotional needs, their boundaries, and their patterns of overgiving. They were able to connect with their divine feminine and welcome her presence in their daily lives. They were also able to heal patterns of their past, including healing their negative sexual experiences. One of the interesting things, according to several ancient lineages, including the tantric one, is that when you do womb healing work, you clear away the wound and traumas of your past 7 generations and create a new neuro-linguistic programming for your upcoming next 7 generations, including yourself. So just imagine what a beautiful new world we can create when we women are no longer passing our unresolved emotions to our children through our womb space. So you see, my dear sister, we are in times of great awakening, and we are called to be the midwives of birthing a new era. And womb healing is our doorway, our gateway to that. So, I'm sure now you might be thinking, how can we awaken our cold, dense, rigid womb? How can we heal our womb? Our womb awakens when we bring her the gifts of presence, respect, appreciation, and devotion. Our womb then literally begins to speak her needs and desires. And there is a saying that only purified heart will hear, and only the courageous ones will respond. Because yes, the journey of womb healing can be scary for many women. The reason being, our womb does not understand the intellects of our mind, the logic, or the workings of our patriarchal world. When we start listening to our womb, she will dramatically lead us to change our lifestyle, our spirituality, our diet, our relationships, all the things that no longer serves us, but we've been holding on to. Also, when we start listening to our womb's needs and desires, she becomes super sensitive to sensations and simple pleasures of our everyday life. She becomes this loving energy and this living light within us. And womb healing can be a sensual experience too. I teach a variety of sound, breath, and movement practices taken from the ancient Taoist and Tantric lineages to activate our womb space and use her on a regular basis to create more of beauty and inspiration in our lives. So my dear sister, share with me if this video intrigued you to pursue womb healing, or if you are already on a journey of experiencing your womb wisdom, or if you have any questions for me. for those of you who would like to begin their journey of connecting with their womb space, I have a beautiful free offering called Sensualize Your Womb. The link is in the description. So click and begin your womb healing journey. One thing I can assure you is the journey of womb healing will bring you back to your sacred, sensual, sovereign, feminine, and this is the most beautiful gift you can give to yourself for being a woman. Namaste.